Hello, welcome in this video tutorial based on SDT for the Boolean expression. Till now we have seen the creation of SDT for the assignment statement. Please visit my last video where I have explained how to use SDT for the assignment statement. Now in this video we will see the Boolean expressions. Now what is Boolean expression? These expressions are basically consisting the Boolean operators. The meaning of Boolean operator is nothing but they are always producing a true or false result. These Boolean expressions are composed with the Boolean operators. Now what type of Boolean operators are there? The examples are AND, OR and NOT operator. Now these Boolean operators are applied to the Boolean variables, that means any single variable, or it can be applied to the expression, and the expression is formed with the help of the Boolean variables. The expression usually takes form like this: E1 relational operator E2. So E1 and E2 are the expression and can be combined with any relational operator. Now the main purpose of having Boolean expression is nothing but they are used to compute the logical values. This is the first use, where with the help of Boolean expression we can compute the logical values. Secondly, with Boolean expression we can put some conditions within that expression or for the statements present in that code block. These expressions may be used to control the flow of execution. One such example we can find into the if-else statement, or we can have the flow of control into the while type of statements. Now example grammar for evaluating Boolean expression with the help of some semantic actions, it is shown here. You can observe, let us say E is an expression, so for the OR type of operator it could be E tends to E or E tends to E and E. Then for the NOT operator, then here E is generating E expression itself. Then expression could consist one identifier combined with other identifier with the help of any relational operator, and the relational operator can be less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than, equal to, anything. Then based on the relational operator, as I said, or the Boolean operator, they always gives you true or false result. So E tends to true or E tends to false. These conditions are also used in the grammar. Now talking about the precedence and the associativity, the AND and OR operator are left associated, that means we have to evaluate from left to right. Similarly, we will consider the precedence of operators. So NOT operator having highest precedence, followed by the AND operator, and at last we have OR operator having lower precedence. Now first of all understand what translation scheme we will be using for Boolean operator. Here first we will have E tends to E or E1 or E2. When you have this type of condition in a given parse tree, then E1 or E2 will be reduced to E, and what action can be taken at that place? First of all, create a new temporary variable. So when you have E1 or E2 kind of condition in a given parse tree during the parsing process, then semantic action that can be taken is, first of all, create a new temporary variable. That temporary variable is assigned to E. Next step is emit, that is append some 3 address code into the intermediate code file as E1 place or E2 place. This action you have to take. So you will be adding a code for computation of a result based on E1 place value or with E2 place value, and the entire result is assigned to E place, and E place is nothing but that temporary variable, and that 3 address code will be written into the intermediate code file. Similarly for E1 and E2, if you observe this kind of structure in the parse tree, it will get reduced to E, and the 3 address code generated could be, for each place we will generate a new temporary variable, and we will be writing code to the intermediate code file as e place, that is value of e, equal to e1 value and ANDed with e2 value. Similarly for not operator, if e tends to not e, then create a temporary variable and find out not of e1, assign it to the e and create a 3 address code for that and write it into the intermediate code file. For e tends to e1, simply generate or assign value of e1 to e. Then this is very important, when you have a relational operator in place, so what you have to do, when you have e tends to id1 relational operator id2, so just consider an example, a less than b. So suppose this is the case, id1 relational operator id2, it could be imagined as a less than b. So what you will do, so please keep in mind what step we have to follow. First of all, generate a new temporary variable, let us say t or t0 or t1, anything, I'll consider t. So create a new variable as t. Then next code you will generate as emit if id1 dot place, that is a value relational operator with id2 dot place, that is a value less than b value. If this is the expression you have, so write it as it is into the intermediate code file, and after that just write a word go to, that is the condition followed by word go to and current statement plus 3 locations. So for an example, if I am using this condition, I am writing this condition at 100 place, so 100 plus 3 is nothing but 103. So at 100 place I am creating a 3 address code for if id 1 less than id2 and go to 100 plus 3, that is 103. So if this is true, go to 103 address, this is the meaning. Next statement you will generate as emit e place equal to 0, and what is e place? E place is nothing but new temp, so t equal to 0, simply create a 3 address code as t equal to 0. After that next statement will be emit, now create a word, let's say go to statement plus 2, so whatever address this statement is created plus 2 you have to add and write that address number over here. At last you will be creating emit e place equal to 1, so e place is temporary variable, so t equal to 1. In this way, for the relational operator we are generating the 3 address code. We will see this particular generation of 3 address code with an example in the coming slides. Now next, as I said, Boolean operator are generating true and false value, so e tends to true and e tends to false is the condition. If you find this kind of situation in the parse tree, then what you have to do, for the true condition generate a new temporary variable and emit at that place e dot place equal to 1, that means e place is nothing but temporary variable, let us say t, so it will be t equal to 1. And if you have occurred false condition, then you will again generate a new temporary variable, let's say t, and you will be writing in the IC file as t equal to 0. So for true t equal to 1 and for false t equal to 0. This kind of codes are generated. Same I have placed here. If this is not visible, you can refer to this. Next, now to perform the semantic analysis and get the intermediate code based on SDT or the translation scheme for the Boolean expression, we will be making use of 2 methods. So the 3 address codes will be generated with the help of these 2 methods. We will see one by one along with their examples. So first method is numerical method and second method is jump method. So what difference these 2 methods are having? In the numerical method, we are simply making the condition referred as numbers, that is 1 and 0, while in the jump method we will be having multiple operators operating on the expression. So evaluation of each and every expression and finally bringing true or false value, that is the main task. So instead of using numerical values, it will be using true and false condition. So the basic difference, please keep in mind, in the numerical method we will be using numbers as notations, and in jump method no number notations are used. Instead we will be using true and false conditions or the flags. So let us start with the numerical method. As I said, we have to assign some numerical values to true and false conditions that are generated by the expression. So general way is true is assigned with value 1 and false is assigned value equal to 0. We have to evaluate the expression starting from left to right. In these kind of methods, that is numerical method, generally it does not involve any flow of control statements or the code blocks. So this is also difference between numerical method and jump method. Jump method consists of flow of control statements, but numerical method doesn't contain flow of control statements. So let us start with the first example of numerical method. Now the given expression is A or B and not C. So it can be referred with the notations, or it can be or the operator notation, or it can be simply given to you as like this. So the first thing is that you must draw the parse tree for this. So I have drawn a parse tree for this, A or B and not C. So the highest precedence is for the not, then the second highest is and last one is the or. So first we will be evaluating not, then we will be evaluating and at last we will be evaluating or condition. So parse tree is like this: A or with A or. Now this is the new expression. So new expression consists B and. So after and again there is an expression not C. So B and not C. So this is the expression. Now we are ORing that expression with A. So we will go step by step and let us see how the 3 address code can be generated. For that reason you need to refer the translation scheme that we are using for the Boolean expression. So I am showing you the translation scheme as well. So this is the translation scheme, and this is the what we can say parse tree that is generated in the step 1. So in the step 1 you generated the parse tree. Now in the step 2 you will be referring the translation scheme of Boolean expression as well as parse tree, and you will generate the 3 address code. So first of all we have to use all the semantic actions. This is nothing but the semantic actions placed within the pair of braces. So use these semantic actions for the expression given to you. So as discussed, we will be evaluating very first expression as not C. So not C we have to evaluate. So just see, when you have E tends to not E, when the parser is reaching to this particular place, so it sees not C or not even kind of expression. So this can be reducible to E. So not even is reducible to E. So what we have to generate for E's place, that entire even will be referred as E. So at E's place we will be generating a new temporary variable. So new temp is generated as T1, and emit E place, now that is T1 equal to not of even place. So what we are generating, T1 equal to not of C. So I have created a code T1 equal to not of C. This is the second step. Now in the next step we will be reducing this AND expression. So let us see. Now we will reduce the AND block. So for AND it will be B and not of C, but in the previous state we have reduced this not of C to T1. So we will be having B and T1 kind of expression. So what we have to do, when you have AND, so it will be E1 and E2. So E1 and E2 kind of situation is there. So when you have E1 and E2, what we will do, we will be creating a new temp for the E's place. So for this AND we will be creating a new temporary. So it will be T2, and what we will do for that E's place, or for that T2 equal to E1 place, that is B, and E2 place, that is this not C, and not C is already represented by T1. So it will be T2 equal to B and T1. So I have created a circle for this particular block where I will be representing this block as T2, and T2 equal to B and T1. Next we will go for reducing the OR expression. So it will be Now A or this T2, this part is there, so A is E1 and T2 will be E2. So E1 or E2 is there, then simply create a new temporary variable. So I have created new temporary variable as T3. Emit T3 equal to E1 plus, that is A, or E2, that is T2. So A or T2 will be assigned to new temp variable, that is T3. So I have created a T3 over here, T3 equal to A or T2. And finally you can see the three address code for this entire expression is first T1 representing not C, then T2 representing B and T1, and lastly T3 representing A or T2. So this is the final answer for the given expression. Now let us see second example based on numerical method. The expression given to you is A less than B. So as I said previously, this will be matching with this particular production rule, that is ID1 relational operator ID2. Here ID1 is A and ID2 is B. So we will be seeing this particular production rule, how it is evaluated. Now first understand, when A less than B is true, that means when A value is less than B, we will be setting a flag as a true condition, and when A less than B is false, that is else condition, we will be setting flag equal to false. So I have represented here, if A less than B, you consider it as a 1, and else if it is not so, consider it as a 0. So just by referring the name of method, that is numerical method, I am using flags for true and false condition as 0 and 1. So let us see how it is, like how it is converted. So when you have ID1 relational operator ID2, that is A less than B, first thing is you will be creating a temp variable. So let us say I have created a temp variable T. Next step is emit if ID1 dot place. So what is ID1 dot place? It is nothing but A. Relational operator ID2 dot place. ID2 is B. So if A less than B, go to statement plus 3. So go to, what is current statement address? It is 100 plus 3, it will be 103. So simply write go to and current statement plus 3 address in the code form. So if A less than B, do not get confused with this particular operator, it can be anything. This will not be creating any trouble for us. Simply you have to write the given condition as it is and go to and compute the new address, that is current statement plus 3. So current statement address is 100 plus 3, it is 103. Next statement we will see. Next statement will be emit E place equal to 0. Now what is E place? We have created new temporary variable, that is T, and T equal to 0. So E place is T, and the next statement is T is assigned with value 0. So for the next address I have created T equal to 0. Now next will be, we will be creating one more go to statement with some address value. So what is that address? Next statement will be create a go to and current statement plus 2. So next statement is at address 102, create a word go to plus current address plus 2, that is 102 plus 2, that is 104. So create 104 location. Next statement we will be seeing emit E place equal to 1. So emit E place. E place is nothing but new temp, that is T, and T equal to 1 we have to create. So T equal to 1 we have created. So this is the three address code for an expression like A less than B. This example is altogether different than the first example. Here we have shown how to use this production rule specifically. Now let us move to the third example. In the third example, again we are using combinations of relational operators. So P greater than Q ANDed with R less than S or U is greater than R. So this kind of expression is given to you where the Boolean operators are operated on multiple expressions here. So we will be making use of this particular production rule first, and at last we will be using production rule for AND, that is this E1 and E2, and for OR we will be using this. So I recommend you, first of all, you try and draw the parse tree for this, and after drawing the parse tree, it will be very much easier for you to understand how it will get reduced to 3 address code. So now just consider one by one expression starting from left to right. Now at left I get expression P greater than Q. So simply go to this particular production rule, P greater than Q. So ID1 will be P and ID2 will be Q, and relational operator is greater than. As I said, do not get confused with this relational operator. They are not creating any harm in this particular grammar. So as I said, just follow the steps. Create a new temporary variable. Now unlike previous example, here multiple expressions are there, and for each expression we are going to create a temporary variable. So in the previous example, as you can see, only one expression is there, so one temp variable is sufficient here. But here we have 3 different expressions, so for these 3 different expressions you have to create new temp variable. So for convention, I will be creating T1 for this expression, T2 for this expression, and T3 for this expression, and lastly I will be combining T1 and T2. It will be odd with T3. So let us see how we can create it. So as I said, for P greater than Q, for this particular grammar, for this particular production, we will be creating temporary variable as T1. So T1 is created. Next, if ID1 place, that is P greater than Q, simply create a word go to and current statement address plus 3. So if P greater than Q, create word go to current address plus 3, that is 103. Next statement will be E place equal to 0. E place is T1, so T1 equal to 0. Next address code is create a word go to, so go to is created, and current statement address plus 2, so current statement address plus 2. Next is emit E place equal to 1, so E place is nothing but T1 equal to 1. So these 4 lines up to 100 to 103, we have created 3 address code for P greater than Q. So one by one for each expression we will be getting the 3 address code. So now let us consider R less than S. So starting from 104, if R is greater than S, go to current statement plus 3. So 104 plus 3, it is nothing but 107. Next will be newly created temp variable is T2 for this expression. Emit T2 equal to 0. Next statement, emit go to current statement address plus 2. Please refer these actions. And lastly, we will be assigning 1 to the new temp variable. So this is for R less than S. Next will be U greater than R or U greater than V. By mistake it is typed as V. So if U is greater than V, so what you have to know? Current statement address plus 3, so 108 plus 3, that is 111. Next will be the newly created temp, assign it to 0. Next statement will be go to current statement plus 2, that is 110 plus 2, 112, and newly created temp variable equal to 1. So after this, what we will be doing, it is nothing but left to right associative, because AND and OR operator are left associative, so we will be starting from left to right. So evaluate from left to right. So E1 and E2 will be evaluated. So E1 and E2, what we will be creating? We will be creating a new temp for that. So let us say T1, T2, T3 are used for the expression. Now for this P, that is E1 and E2, for this expression we will be creating a temp variable, let us say T4. So T4 will be T1 and T2. T4 will be T1 and T2. So T4 will be T1 and T2. We have wrote here. Next, we have assigned this to T4. So T4 is nothing but this entire expression. So T4 or with T3. T4 or with T3. So T4 is OR with T3. In this way, we will be ORing E1 and E2. Now this part will be E1 or this part will be E2. So E1 or E2 first of all create a new temporary variable. So new temp will be T5 and T5 will be T4 or T3. So T5 equal to T4 or T3. In this way 3 address codes are created. Please remember, don't forget to draw the parse tree for this. With the parse tree it will be easier for you to understand which expression gets reduced. Last example for the numerical method, it is a less than b or c less than d and e less than f. So it is similar to the previous example. Some variables and the conditions are changed. So please refer to this rule, id1 relational operator id2. So with this production rule you will be able to solve such type of example. So a less than b, you create a temporary variable t1, c less than d t2 and e less than f, it will be t3. Then just simply follow these lines of these actions for the given production rule and create t1 equal to 0, t1 equal to 1 and so on. Finally it will be the entire expression we have to add together. So it will be t1 or t2 and t3. As I said, and has highest precedence, so this part is skipped and will be evaluated first. So t2 and t3 will be there, t2 and t3, by creating a new temp, and we will be assigning this result to new temp. So t4 equal to t2 and t3. Now this will be called as t4. So a less than b or t4, so t1 or t4 will be assigned, t1 or t4 will be assigned to new temp, that is t5. So t5 equal to t1 or t4. Draw the parse tree and you will be able to imagine like in what way these expressions are added together. So this is all about the first method where we can create SDT for the Boolean expression, and with the help of a translation scheme we can create the intermediate code or 3 address code. Next we will be seeing the jump method. Now let us start with the second method for evaluating Boolean expression with the help of SDT and the translation schema. It is the jump method. So jump method is also known as short circuit code or short circuit method. So you will be referring this method by both the names, that is jump or short circuit code. The main purpose of having jump method is to evaluate the flow of control statements. When semantic analysis is going on, then jump method is preferred when that given parse tree contains flow of control statements. Now in the jump method, the Boolean operators like and or not, they do not appear in the generated instruction stream. Instead the alternative statements will be created. Some go-to statements will be used instead of these Boolean operators. This go-to statement will help us to jump from true or false range or between true and false range. So no operators are used, instead simply jumping is there, that is transferring the control from true and false ranges. So in the jump method we can translate the Boolean expression into TAC, where no code will be generated for Boolean operators and will not be evaluating the entire expression. So expression by expression we will go. As I said, both names are there, short circuit as well as jump method. Now the basic idea in the jump method is evaluate the Boolean expression, let us say E, which is treating that E as a sequence of conditional and unconditional statements. So conditional and unconditional jumps will be there, and the conditional and unconditional jumps will be to only locations specified as E dot true, that is when E expression is evaluated to true, or the jump will be to E dot false. So in the numerical method, if you remember, we used the notations like 1 and 0 to indicate true and false condition. Similarly here we will be using the true and false condition with a notation as E dot true, that is when expression is true, or E dot false. Fine. So the name of expression can be anything, it can be E, B, M, anything. Okay, so simply true and false you have to put there as the notation. Now we have various operators involved in the expression. So how these operators are treated and what kind of semantic actions, semantic rules are specified for this operator. Specifically for this method we need to understand first. So when you have OR operation for the expression, so simply ignore what I have used here. I have drawn the diagram for considering expression notation as E, where the production and rules are showing for B. So just imagine this is nothing but the expression. So when you have E tends to E or E2, then please understand how this OR operator is evaluated. So for the OR operator, if first part is true, then no need to evaluate the second part. But when the first part is false, then we need to evaluate the second part. So this is the working style of the OR operator. So let us begin with this. You will be having code for expression E, that is E1 dot code, and you will be having code for E2 expression, that is E2 dot code. So you will be start evaluating E or E2. When E1 is true, when E1 condition is true, then simply E1 code will be evaluated. That means if first part is true, then no need to evaluate the second part. But when first part is false, that is when E1 dot false, then E1 dot code will not be executed. We will be creating a new label. That means when E1 dot false condition is there, the new situation, new condition is raised, and that condition is because of E1 dot false. So new label I have created E1 dot false, where we need to execute the E2. So let us execute E2, and E2's result can be either true or false. So now understand how we can apply the semantic action for this particular operation. When it is true, then when E1 dot true part is there, then the expression is evaluated as true. But when E1 dot false condition is there, we have to create a new label. So new label we have to create. Let's say L1 is created. Then see whether B2 part is true or not. If B2 part is true, then again entire expression is true. But when B2 is false, then entire expression becomes false, because first E1 is false as well as E2 is false, or B1 is false as well as B2 is false. Because of that, the entire expression, this E, becomes false. So at that time, in what way you have to create the code? It will be, so the code for the expression, it will be B1 code or E1 code, followed by label as E1 dot false or B1 dot false, followed by B2 code. That means we are going to evaluate E1 code, create a new label as false, that is nothing but raise a condition or denote a condition, false condition, and at last E2 dot code. So please remember this last rule that will be used while solving the examples. Next, translation of AND statement. How we can translate the AND statement? So similarly, last OR operation, first of all understand the AND operation. Here, if E1 is true, still we have to evaluate the E2 part. If E1 is false, then no need to evaluate the E2 part. So exactly opposite condition will be there. So when E1 is true, this is not sufficient case, you have to check E2 as well. So when E1 is true, then create a new label. So new label will be created. So what is that new label? It is nothing but true condition label. But when E1 is false, then the entire code need not to be checked. Entire code means entire expression E need not to be checked, because one part is false. So when E1 is false, no need to check the other part, the entire expression becomes false. But when it is true, go for the next expression, that is E2 expression. Now here for the E2 expression is true, then the entire expression becomes true, because E1 true is already evaluated. Now we are evaluating E2 dot true. When E2 dot true is, then entire expression will be true. And when E2 is false, then that means E1 is true and E2 is false, then again entire expression becomes false. So when E2 is false, then entire expression E becomes false. So what action we are writing for the entire code of E? It will be B dot code equal to, that means E1 dot code, expression 1 dot code, followed by label by true, label of true condition. So label of E1 true condition followed by B2 code or expression 2 code. In this way we will be writing the code for AND operation. Next is translation of NOT. When NOT operation is there, that means E tends to not E1 or B tends to not B1. Then if B1 dot true is there, then it will be treated as false condition. When expression is false, it will be considered as true condition. So the code for B1, which is similar to the B, or code for expression given, which will be same for the E. When B tends to E1, relational operator E2. So how it will be translated? So first of all, whatever code you have for the E1, write that code as it is. Then write the code for E2 as it is, and now generate. What we have to generate? We have to generate two flags. What are those flags? Two labels or flags will be generated. One will be called as B1 dot B dot true or E dot true, and B dot false or E dot false, as like this. B dot true and B dot false. These two labels you have to generate when you are having relational operator in the given example. So for the given example consisting relational operator, first of all generate two labels, that is B dot true and B dot false, or E dot true or E dot false. Any convention you can use, and then simply just note where it goes, like if E1 dot then that means first expression, relational operator second expression, then go to the true part, else go to the false part. This kind of translation or code we can generate for the relational operator. Then for the true and false, if it is true, then B tends to true. That means what? We have to go or we have to create a code for B as generate simply go to B dot true condition, and when it is false, simply generate a go to statement and go to the false label. When it is identifier, simply create that identifier and go to true condition, else go to false condition. Now let us see the example of jumping method. So the given expression is if within the bracket x less than 5 or x greater than 10 and x equal to y. This is the expression. If it is evaluated to true, then go to the next statement, that is x equal to 3. Now as the working of if, we all know, if the condition expression is true, this expression is evaluated to true, then only x equal to 3 part, x equal to 3, this part will get executed. So what I will do, I will consider this will be my starting point and this will be my ultimate outcome. So I will assign a label to this particular part, that is x equal to 3, and I will assign the other labels for the rest of expressions. How? We will see. As discussed, the very first process will be create a parse tree for the given expression. So for this expression I have created a parse tree. It will be if condition, if and the expression, and the other part is x equal to 3. So if left hand side is entire expression and right hand side is nothing but the outcome of if. So OR operation is there. OR is nothing but the left hand side of OR, and to the right hand side it has the AND operator. So the AND operator having two parts, left hand side it will be x greater than 10 and having right hand side as x equal to a, that is comparison. Then OR will be x less than 5. So x less than 5 is OR with the rest of the expression. So we will be starting parsing process by going to this part, and now one by one start reducing it. So you will be seeing this relational operators over here, relational operators over here. So all relational operators first of all gets reduced. Then from relational operator we will be evaluating this Boolean operator, that is or and the process continues. Please remember, first of all reduce this relational operators and then go for the Boolean operators. So we will see step by step. So for the given parse tree, as I said, first of all create the two labels, that will be e1 dot true and e dot true and e dot false, and e dot true is assigned as label L1 and e dot false it is assigned as label L2. So when it is true condition we will be jumping to L1, and when it is false condition we will be jumping to L2. This is the meaning. So first of all let us see this OR part. So if very first expression is x less than 5, when x less than 5, that is if e1 or e2, this is the condition, e1 or e2. When you have e1 or e2, what we will do? When you have e1 or e2, we have to evaluate it. How we will be evaluating? Just see. When e1 or e2 is there, that means if first part is true, okay, when first part is true, then the entire expression will be evaluated to true part. So that means when x less than 5, when x less than 5 is true, we will be saying that it is true condition. I repeat again, if x less than 5, we will be treating this nothing but the true condition. When it is true condition, it will be simply going to execute x equal to 3 statement. So what we will writing? If x less than 5, simply go to L1. Now L1 is nothing but your true condition, and when the entire expression is true, we are going to visit the x equal to 3 statement. So L1 label I am assigning to x equal to 3 statement. This is the meaning. So please understand, I have written explanation also here. When x less than 5, this condition is true, then need not to check the other expression. When it is true, you are simply going to evaluate entire expression equal to true and will visit this x equal to 3 statement. So this is assigned a label L1. If x less than 5 is false, that means x is greater than 5. When x less than 5 condition is false, then you need to check the second part. Fine. When first part is false in a OR condition, then you need to check the second part. So go and check the second part. So for the second part, how many labels we have used till now? We have used L1 for true, L2 for false condition. So what we will be doing, we will be creating a new label for this second part. So that means what we will do, if x less than 5, we will be going to true part. If not, we will go to the next label, that is L3 label. We have created the next L3 label. Now this L3 label is nothing but x less than 10, because the next part that we are going to visit is the entire AND expression. So for AND expression, first we have to visit the first expression of that AND expression. So that first expression is nothing but your L3. L3 is nothing but x greater than 10 expression. Next, what we are going to do? Now let us consider this entire expression. This is the AND expression. If first part is true, that is x greater than 10, then for the AND we have to check the second part as well. So if first part is true, go to the next part. If first part is true, go to the next part, and next part is referred as a new label. So x equal to y, we will be referring that with a new label, that is L4. So when x is greater than 10, when x is greater than 10, go to the x equal to y, and x equal to y is referred as new label. So when x is greater than 10 equal to true, go to the new label, that is label 4, and label 4 is nothing but x equal to y, this condition. If it is not so, that means if x is greater than 10 is false. So for the AND operator, when one part is false, the entire expression becomes false. So for the false, we have raised if false condition is raised, we have created a label L2. So when this part is false, we are simply going to visit the L2. That means x equal to 3 will not be visited in that case. So go to the L2 part. Now suppose this part is true. Now let us check this next part. X equal to y. Now for this x equal to y, again same considerations are there. L1 will be true and L2 will be false condition. Now we started this discussion as x greater than 10 is true condition, and now check for the second part, that is x equal to y. Suppose this x equal to y part is true, that means first part is true and second part is true, so entire expression will be evaluated to true part. Okay, so when if it is true, then entire expression will be evaluated to true part, and you can now visit to x equal to 3. That means if this condition is true, then you can go to x equal to 3, and x equal to 3 is nothing but L1. So when x equal to y, go to L1, that is visit this. Else go to L2, and what is L2? L2 is nothing but false condition. That means if x is not equal to y, then second part is false, the entire expression becomes false, and you will be out of the if part, and you are not going to visit any statement followed by if statement. So in this way the TAC is created. The final TAC looks like this. If x less than 5, go to L1. If not, go to L3. L3 is next expression. If this is true, then go to L4, that is x equal to y. If this is false, then again come out of the loop. If this is false, again come out of the loop. So in this way, for the entire expression, we have generated the TAC. So this is the way we use the jump method for creating the intermediate code of the Boolean expression. Please subscribe to the channel so that new addition to the channel videos will be notified to you. Also like the video, comment for any queries, and share this video. Thank you so much.